right, welcome back to Closet Confessions. The second principle that we want to talk about is the need to let go of fixing or judgment, like judging others and trying to fix their stuff. So when someone is struggling emotionally or even demanding something from you, they are not in a place to work through the problem yet. And I'll say yet. They're not there yet. When someone, they call it, when I was going through therapy, one of the things that they called it was a flipped lid state. So like if you could imagine this is like the brain, in here is your, like, I'd say the fight or flight brain, the survival brain. When you're in a non-flipped lid state, it means you're thinking with your prefrontal cortex, you're in your higher thinking brain. This is where you problem solve. You problem solve here. So, but when someone has an emotional reaction to something, when they get hurt by a friend or something hard happens in their life or whatever, when they emotionally, they call it flipping your lid. When they are in a flipped lid state, they're here. They're in the survival brain. So they're not actually in a place where they can work through problems. And this is where we tend to try to solve problems and it doesn't go well, right? It just makes it worse. So when someone's in this state, what they actually need is validation. They need to connect with you. That connection, this isn't in the books, this is just me talking. One of the things that I've recognized is that when someone's here or when I'm here, if someone will be there for me, if they will validate me and not try to talk me out of my feelings, but literally really listen to me, it makes me feel safe. When I feel safe, that helps me calm down. When I start to calm down, I go back into my higher thinking brain. That's where problem solving happens. So, and when you are in a flipped lid state, this is also something I've learned, is that you have a chemical spill inside of you. It actually takes time to reset. It takes time to come out of that chemical spill. And so you need some time to feel safe. And that will bring you back to here. Once you're here, you may be able to solve your own problem at that point. You may still need solutions, and you will now be in the place where you can go find those solutions. So, I don't know. Statistically, I guess I'm just going to throw one out there, but it's a high percentage. Let's say 85% of problems are solved just by validating others when they're in this state. They will go solve it themselves. What they really just needed was someone to hear them, validate them, be there present for them in that moment. And then once they regulate, they'll think of their own solutions. They'll have ideas. Maybe they just needed someone to hear them and that was the solution. So most of the time they actually will be able to just work it out themselves without anything further from you once you validate it, which is huge. As a parent who's dealing constantly with flipped lid states or a friend or, just life, like people, like you're going to encounter flipped lid state all over the place, everywhere you go, right? So understanding that that's not the time to sermonize, philosophize, PMA someone, which I will get into in a minute, but positive mental attitude them. Like look on the bright side. At least you have fill in the blank. At least you have your health. At least you have another dog. At least you have, anyways, it's not helpful. In that moment, it's like the worst things you could do. And it's not productive and it just causes disconnection. It makes people feel not safe. So letting go of judgment, letting go of needing to fix the problem for the other person. When someone's in a flipped lid state, just remember they need validation. That's what they need. That's you helping them. If you want to really help them, that's how you do it. And when I was in a positive parenting class, and one of the phrases that they use to help us remember that is connection before correction. Now that was obviously with parenting, because not in every situation are you going to even be in the place to be giving any kind of correction. Like most of your adult relationships, it's not going to be a corrective thing. It's just going to be connection. You're just trying to establish connection. But connection, before correction, like having that as your basic philosophy. If correction or solutions are actually needed, it will not come until there's been connection. So connection first. And a lot of times that will resolve the issue. They'll be able to take care of it themselves after that, and they'll come up with their own solutions. One of the other things that I thought was really powerful when I was studying these resources is that if you get through the I'm in a flip lid state, I need validation, and you get through that, and now they're in their higher thinking brain, but now they still need solutions, they still need help. You really want them to still kind of come up with solutions for themselves. But if they've exhausted all their solutions and they are actually looking to you for like some ideas, you can give advice, but not solutions. Don't give solutions. They're the expert on their life. So give them a thought, and you can phrase it. I liked how they worded it in here, but putting it in my own words, I'd say like, well, some people have tried this. It could work for you. I don't know if this will be helpful for you in this situation. That's it. Leave it at that. They will go evaluate that themselves and decide if that's something they actually need to or want to try, and see if it will help. So basically wording it in such a way that it is not an expectation of them to take action in the way you think they need to take action. So advice, not solutions. Something that some people have tried, something I have tried in the past has been fill in the blank. It may work for you, it may not, I don't know. That's it. So that is part of one of the tools for validation. So remember, learning to listen, and at this point, letting go of judgment and thinking that you have to fix it. Those huge. And we'll move into the next step.